G'day, we're the Collings family from Tasmania. We're currently on holiday in Melbourne, Victoria. Today we'll be finding out all about the history of film and video games, getting a bird's eye view of this incredible city, and finishing it all up with some Chinese hot pot.
Anywhere you wanna go, let's go together. Anything you wanna be, let's be forever. Don't you worry about a thing. We were born to break away. Everything will fade, but love remains.
It'll do.
This one's going to Ventura Emma. It doesn't really matter where it's.
Melbourne is the traditional land of the Kulin Nation and is the capital of Victoria. It is currently home to almost 4 million people. It was founded on the Yarra River in 1835. The Port Phillip district gained independence from New South Wales in 1850. Famous Tasmanian John Batman asked permission from the Governor of New South Wales to settle the Western Portlands, but this was denied. But Edward Henty ignored this ruling in 1834 and settled Portland Bay. So in 1835, Batman crossed the Bass Strait and purchased land on the western shore of Port Phillip from the local Aboriginal people. It was actually the British government who questioned the validity of this treaty, believing that the land belonged to the Crown, not to the Wurundjeri people. It's also said that the Wurundjeri had no concept of land ownership. Now, whether Batman was acting in good faith or trying to take advantage of them, it seems likely the Indigenous people would never have signed had they understood what he was proposing. Within a year, Melbourne began to grow on the banks of the Yarra River. The township of Melbourne was named in 1837. That year, Robert Hoddle, who was the surveyor in charge of the Port Phillip district, used this location, Batman's Hill, as a point of origin to lay out what would become the city grid of Melbourne. And it happened right here. Linda and Chloe just spotted something that they need for Thursday night. I'll show you what I mean. So there we go.
Where all the people are performing at this.
Yeah, so that's what the girls are going to be doing on tomorrow night, right? Is it Wednesday? Yeah, tomorrow night. We also found Chinatown, right next door. I think the Centauri have been here. That looks like it belongs to Londo Malari. We've made it to Federation Square. You could say that Federation Square is the cultural heart of Melbourne, filled with attractions, unique architecture, shopping and great restaurants. It was opened in 2002, has received more than 100 million visits, and been named the 6th best public square in the world. So just up here is the Museum of Movies and Video Games. Sounds like fun?
Oh, it's the show, and they're like these feral animals that live in this guy's backyard. And his name, I'm not kidding, was Joe King.
Yeah, that's really cool. There's a mermaid skeleton up there. I wonder where they dug that up. The main exhibit at ACMI is free and takes you through the history of the moving image. There's a lot to see. They also have some paid exhibits that are changing all the time. You can actually make your own flip book. These costumes are from Thor, Love and Thunder. They've got a Foley recording booth. You can come in and do your own sound effects. This is a replica of Mel Gibson's car in the iconic Aussie film Mad Max. Now, this is the one I grew up with. I remember this. It was made in Australia with Australian actors and shot in Melbourne, but it was set in America, all the actors using American accents. And it was this big controversy, should Australian games be more Australian? But yeah, this was a full motion video point and click adventure game. My kind of thing. So I have this little cardboard lens which you can touch on exhibits to scan them and collect the information, and then you can then view the information that you're interested in later from home. It's pretty cool. By the way, if you're interested in the history of video games, check out the documentary that Harrison made for the Focus on Ability Film Festival. It'll be linked in the description below. It was time for lunch, so we decided to try Mumma's Canteen, a Middle Eastern restaurant. So we're being a bit adventurous. We're going to have the Middle Eastern feast and try some interesting foods that we haven't had before. Kind of stuff that we couldn't have back in Tassie, so it should be fun. This is a Middle Eastern soft drink. It's watermelon and strawberry flavoured. And this is pomegranate juice. So something I've never had before.
Really, there's a mess.
That's a very different kind of fruit juice, but it's not bad. Well, that was really good. We had a lovely meal. We had the feast, and we got to try some different things. I'm not an overly adventurous person when it comes to food, but I really enjoyed trying some different kind of foods from a different culture that we wouldn't eat back home. So
We got free dessert
yeah,
because we left reviews on Google for them.
so highly recommended. Mumma's Canteen in Federation Square in Melbourne. Check them out if you're ever here.
Yeah, but make sure you leave a review.
It's a wet day in Melbourne when there's like no people anywhere. If this was Tassie, it'd still be packed because we just don't care.
We'd all be in
But
our Tasmanian tuxedo.
mainlanders don't like the rain as much as we do. But it's just amazing to be standing in Federation Square and there's no one here.
That place has a high.
We're under a railway bridge. And this is the Queen's Bridge. I wonder which queen it was made to honour. Might have been Victoria, or it could have been Elizabeth II. Yeah, that's definitely where we've got to be going because it's the tallest building around.
Yeah.
I'm loving the buildings in Melbourne. I mean, I'm kind of a fan of skyscrapers anyway. It's a shame we don't have any in Tassie. But there's just so many weird and wonderful designs that are just, I don't know, kind of sci-fi. Love it. I really like this one. It'd be a cool building even without those funny yellow bits sticking out. But with them, this is even cooler.
I like the yellow bits.
And this is our destination. Up there is the Melbourne Skydeck, just like the Sydney Tower, and the one in the Gold Coast, which I can't remember what it was called. I'm not sure the purpose of the bees, but I think they're very cool. We're going to the 88th floor. You can really feel the move. I mean, look how quickly we're going past those floors. This is a fast elevator.
88th floor.
staying. So I'm just here at the top of the world above Melbourne, having a hot chocolate. Let me guess, someone stole your sweet roll. When we were in the Sydney Tower many years ago, we saw Australia's highest post box. But this place is actually taller now, so now this is Australia's highest post box. We've come to a place called Spice World so that kids can have their first experience of hot pot. We even get a bib.
You know what soup is what?
The chicken will be cooked.
How's the seafood stick? They call it hot pot because it's a pot that's hot and a pot that's translated.
I think we're done. So today we got some free dessert to try at the Mumma's Canteen, which was the Middle Eastern restaurant, and it was called baklava, and we're going to try it now.
That's good.
It's phyllo pastry and it's got chopped nuts and stuff, hasn't it?
Honey.
Cool. I'm going to try it now. It's really crunchy. It's kind of reminds me of a lot of like chocolate bars that got wafers in them, and the honey makes it really nice. That's good stuff. Well, it's been another full day, and once again our bodies are very sore and tired. Tomorrow we've read that there's supposed to be extreme flash flooding in Victoria. Don't know if that's going to affect us here in Melbourne, but it'll be interesting to see what the day brings. Catch you then.